Hi, I'm Jeff Lance from Picasso Piano Academy. Glad to have you here with me today. So, my channel is dedicated to people like you, the aspiring pianist that wants to get better, quicker, more efficiently, and have more fun doing it. In the last video, we learned what a blues scale was. I showed you the C blues scale specifically, and I showed you different ways to practice it over a left-hand boogie pattern playing the 12-bar blues progression. So, today, we're going to explore one of the ways of approaching a solo. Now, there are many ways to approach a solo, okay? I'm just going to be starting with really the beginner way that you learn it. And basically what that involves is learning some licks that people have taught you and then learning how to combine them. I learned how to construct a solo in 1975 when I transcribed a lot of Chick Corea. And what I did at first was just transcribe it and learn how to play it. And in the process of that imitation, I learned what he was doing. I figured it out, and that allowed me to expand and break out from there. So really the best way to learn how to solo is imitation at first, which means learning licks that people have shown you. I mean, it's a good thing. It's good for your ear if you want to transcribe and learn solos. That's the best way. You'll develop your ear faster, better than any other way. But that notwithstanding, you can learn somebody else's riffs that they've set up for you. Now, I've created 18 riffs that you can learn and that you can use them interchangeably to create a solo. Now, that's a starting point. And then from there, once you get comfortable doing that, you're going to start seeing that there's lots of ways of expanding and adding to, and, there's lots of ways to work with a solo. But a good way to start is just learn some basic riffs, learn how to play one after another, learn how to combine them. Now, on riff number 1, it involves playing intervals along with single notes. Here's what riff number 1 looks and sounds like. Now, if you're first learning it, you might not want to worry about that high C and just learn these notes. So that's single notes. But then when I play 2 notes at once, it involves intervals plus single notes. Riff number 2 involves intervals and single notes. The simple form of it is just the lower notes. Now I add this high note, and so it goes back and forth between intervals and single notes. Let's play these 2 riffs together. And if you're just learning this, and if it feels difficult to you, well, just hang with these 2 measures until you master it, okay? Before you go on to the next 16. So if you have to play this over and over, slow, that's okay. So you might just have to learn it like this. And once you have that down, add this high note here. And then once you can do all that, add your left hand. And if you just want to play just down at this C position for all of these exercises, that works. As a matter of fact, that's probably even better until you really get these riffs down. Okay, let's go to riff number 3. Riff number 3 involves grace notes and tremolos. A grace note is a quick note that happens before the actual chord or note that you're playing. It's like this, but played really fast. So this is a grace note here, this F sharp. And here's a tremolo. I used to kind of be jealous of guitar players because guitar players could bend notes, and I thought that was really cool. Well, it is really cool. But they can do that, but they can't do tremolos. So riff number 3 looks and sounds like this. It's as easy as that. So let's do riff number 1, riff number 2, riff number 3. I'm just going to play down in this C position, but I'm going to play a boogie-woogie left-hand part, C position only for these three riffs. Here we go. Okay? Now let's expand that a little bit. Let's do a 4-bar pattern, and the first bar is going to be riff number 1, second bar is going to be riff number 2, third bar will be riff number 1 again, fourth bar will be riff number 3. Looks and sounds like this. Okay, so let's go on. Riff number 4 involves intervals and single notes. So the easy version of riff number 4 is this. And if I want to add the interval texture to it, I add this high note, so it'd be like this. Okay, riff number 5 is also intervals and single notes. So the simple version is this. So let's go back and do the simple version of number 4 and number 5. Okay, now let's throw in that C that turns it from intervals to single notes alternatively. With a left-hand pattern. Okay. Now, riff number 6, this is a cool one. Still involves, it involves intervals, single notes, and tremolo. Looks and sounds like this. Okay? Now, the easy way is just to play the lower notes without those high notes, and that would sound like this. Okay, so let's do riff number 4, 5, and 6. Here we go. Okay, now I'm not going to go through and play every one of these riffs. You can download and take a look at them. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take and play a 12-bar blues progression with my left hand. And I'm going to play, 9 different riffs. And they'll be displayed on the screen so you can see exactly what I'm doing. But they're 9 different riffs. And it's going to be over a basic 12-bar blues progression. It's actually the song I played at the opening of this video, but I'm going to play it again. Here we go. You can follow along. Okay, so there's 9 riffs, and actually it's almost interchangeable. You could almost take, cards and number them 1 through 18, throw them in the air, pick them up, and just play one riff right after another, and they'd all work because they're all using the blues scale. Now, of course, our ears are going to tell us which works better in certain places and which doesn't. But time will give you that sensibility. First thing you need to do is just learn these different licks and start experimenting with playing, lick number 9 next to lick number 11 and see how that works. And then, just switch them around because they all basically work. You're going to find some combinations work better than others, of course. But this is the beginning of you getting soloing. Okay, here's the second 12-bar blues. It's going to start out with 3 measures of just riff number 15. Now, that's one of the many ways that you can take a motif or some kind of riff or something. Sometimes you can just play it over and over and over again. And I don't know, for some dumb reason that I don't understand, sometimes when you're playing and with an audience and you start doing the same riff over and over and over and over and over again, all the way through a pattern, 12 bars, the audience sometimes goes crazy, like they think that's the coolest thing in the world. All you're doing is repeating 4 notes over and over. And I've done it, and I'm shameless that way, and a lot of musicians sometimes just do that, you know. So anyway, back to what this is. This is the second 12-bar combination of different riffs. Okay, here we go. Okay, so keep in mind that playing riffs in different combinations is a good starting point for learning how to solo. So learn these riffs, combine them in different ways, and see how it feels to you. And if you can, get that left hand going over the blues pattern, or find some pre-recorded 12-bar blues recording to where you don't have to worry about your left hand right now, so that you can see how these riffs that you've combined are going to sound against the 12-bar blues. Okay, so there's more approaches to soloing that I'm going to get to in subsequent videos, but that's it for today. Thanks for coming by. And also remember, it's great that you can go to YouTube and watch different teachers and see what they're showing you and learn tips and tricks, but the best way to progress the quickest is with a private one-on-one coach. So I would suggest find a one-on-one coach in your area or contact me for online piano lessons. See you later.